Today, I'm going to announce that I was wrong about one point in Daniel 9. Does that make me unhappy? To the contrary, no. It makes me absolutely giddy. I am incredibly happy to have learned some information about Daniel 9 that I never saw before, only because, once again, lack of careful reading is what confuses people. Now, in the past, I said that, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go to Daniel 9 and verse 24. 70 weeks are determined upon your people, Israel, Jerusalem, and upon your holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring an everlasting righteousness, to seal up the vision and the prophecy, and to anoint the most holy, which is the Holy of Holies, the holy place. Listen carefully. I find this very interesting. It makes me laugh because I don't mind making adjustments in my understanding of what's of anywhere in the Bible. But a lot of people, preachers out there, have made a lot of money off of people distorting, perverting Daniel 9 and leading them off of a cliff. That cliff that's coming up in the future. So I will continue to read this. It says, know and therefore understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks. There is no change in what I believe about that. 7 weeks from the call to rebuild Jerusalem to Messiah the Prince. Messiah the Prince is not the suffering servant. So that's the one that goes out into the future. Was there a call made by an Israelite to rebuild Jerusalem? Yes, his name was General Shlomo Goren. It happened in June 7, 1967. All right? Unto Messiah the Prince. Now, concerning the 62, the 62 sevens, it doesn't say from the first call to rebuild Jerusalem. It doesn't say that at all. And yet, the theologians, the Bible scholars out there claim that it had to be the call to rebuild Jerusalem from Cyrus. Nope. No, because from the 62 weeks, which was 62 weeks to Messiah was cut off, that marker, the only marker that's written here is that begins, the 62 week begins when the street and the wall is being built in troublous times. That's what it says. All right, let's read it carefully. Now therefore understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks. Now concerning the 62 weeks, the street and the wall shall be built again in the wall in troublous times. All right. So when the wall is being built in troublous times, that's when the 62 sevens begin. When were they building the street and the wall? Any guess, folks? In the days of Nehemiah. That's right, Nehemiah. Check this out. If we read, this is incredible. I'm just baffled. Okay. When did the building of the wall begin? All right. There is some evidence showing that Nehemiah returned from Persia to Jerusalem to organize the rebuilding of the wall in 445 BC. Now, ask yourself a question. If he's organizing the rebuilding of the wall, does that mean the building of the wall began to be rebuilt in 445 BC? No. No, absolutely not. He went there to organize the building of the wall. Once the wall and the street were being built, in 434 BC, Nehemiah went back to Persia. Why? He went to complain to the king of Persia. Why? Let's go to the book of Nehemiah. I think we'll start, I'm going to look at verse 1, but I think we'll start in verse 2. All right. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had not done before time sad in his presence. So at that particular time, he was sad in the king's presence. Now the king said, "Why is your countenance sad, seeing that you are not sick? There is nothing else but sorrow of heart." Then I was sore afraid, and said unto my king, the king, "Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lie waste, and the gates thereof are consumed by fire?" Then the king said unto me, What are you requesting?" So I prayed to the Elohim of heaven, and I said to the king, "If it please the king, and if your servant have found favor in your sight, and if you will send me to Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it." What? That's right. That's right. Nehemiah. Building, let's see, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, "For how long shall your journey be? And when will you return?" So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, "If it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river." Beyond what river? Beyond the Euphrates River, Israel's enemies, "that they may convey me till I come into Judah." That they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And the letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which appertains to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. Did you get that? It was at this time, at around the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that Nehemiah makes a request to the king so that he can begin building the wall. All right. "And the king granted me according to the good hand of my Elohim upon me. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with me. Why? Because these kings, when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it, grieved them exceedingly that there had come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. Yes, folks. Now this could have been the Jordan River. I'm going to keep an open mind to this. But these were Israel's enemies that were brought a letter to stay back. And they were upset about it. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. I arose in the night, and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what Jehovah had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem, neither was there any beast with me, except the beast that I rode on. And I went out at night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were what? Broken down. And the gates thereof were consumed with fire. When was this? In the days of Nehemiah the prophet. What days was Nehemiah? It was from 445 BC to 434 BC. 445 BC, Nehemiah returned from Persia to Jerusalem to organize the rebuilding of the wall. And at 434, while the wall was being built, Nehemiah went back to Persia but returned to Jerusalem after an unknown length of time. While the wall and the street were being built. Now, here's what I want everyone to do. Count from 434 BC to 0 BC and tell me what number you have. All right? Let me go get my calculator out. Let's see. What is 62 times 7? What? 434! Folks, did you get that? Okay. Let me read, what was it? Daniel 9 once again. Did I lose it already? No, here it is. Okay, here we go, folks. Here we go. And at the 62-week portion, the street and the shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks, and when did that start? When the street and the wall was being built at 434 BC. Bam! Unto the time when Messiah was cut off. Day 0. Year 0. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. So, this destroys, completely destroys the false narrative of the 69 weeks and the 70th week. It completely destroys it. I don't know how I'm going to be able to cause people to understand this. I just don't know. I have got to figure this out. But when I read it this morning, when I sought out to find out what the year discrepancy was all about, this fell right into my lap. I'm astonished. I'm astounded. I'm gleeful and giddy. I feel like bouncing right now. Anyway, I'm going to stop right here because I have to think and meditate on this for a while, but my mind is blown. I'm amazed. I have no words.